Sweet lemons.
Not real.
That's how good
Guys,
I am.
yeah.
That's how good I am.
Yeah.
It's all fake. I'm not even here. Okay, fine. So yeah, so how long? So like, tell me, how long have you been doing like comedy or anything comedic?
Anything comedic, I've tried all my life, but not been that funny.
I love that. My whole life.
Do you know what I mean?
I was funny out from birth.
No, I was trying to be funny. It was not funny.
Yeah.
And I think online I started doing stuff about I think something came out like maybe 4 years ago. I got like a On This Day came up.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I look so young.
Wait, how old are you?
26 now.
26, fine.
Yeah.
So you look young enough for me to ask you that.
Well, yeah.
Because I was like, you could either be younger than me or older than me. I actually can't tell.
It's a really dangerous area because I look younger a lot of the time than I am.
Yeah.
And then people approach me in the street and talk to me as if I'm their age. I'm like, no, I need to walk away. I'm nowhere near your age.
Yeah, because I'm 24.
Okay.
I'm 24, and like I've just.
So I would have had you younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. I thought I looked so much older.
Really?
Because I stopped getting ID'd recently. It's actually such a sad day.
Was it the beard that?
Yeah, it was the beard. Like I
Yeah.
started growing my beard just to see what would come out, and I think that aged me a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I saw it. So you were doing it for 4 years, and was that TikTok?
Yeah. So I mean, I started actually on just Instagram,
Yeah.
and I made some YouTubes that nobody watched. Like my friends would watch and be like, "Yeah, it's great.
That was great. Yeah.
That was really good. Not good." And I just did it because I liked doing it.
Yeah.
For a long time, I just like making film and
Yeah.
I can say film. But I don't-
Film. Yeah.
Movies.
You say
I just like
arts.
making. Yeah.
Say
it's
arts.
fucking art.
It's an art form.
I just like making stuff. I love. I always love just putting things together.
Interesting.
Like doing a shoot and then putting it together and being like, I made a story out of something that isn't that. I've lied to you guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't this.
It wasn't that.
Yeah.
That's
So
better
I was just doing that for ages, and then I think I started putting stuff online. Because I was pretty first generation of Facebook around.
Really?
Then. Well, I think I would say I'm 26, so around then.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely would be.
As
yeah.
in like I was 15, 16 around there when Facebook was really. Maybe younger.
Yeah.
When it was really starting to pop off.
Yeah.
You know, we were all bullying each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Back then. So I just started putting like videos up on Facebook or Instagram, but just not for. I didn't know it was a thing.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I find like the most interesting about people who make content online is that there's this thing where like they were always gonna do it almost like a lot of them started as kids like KSI or whatever. He wasn't ever thinking about it as like, oh, this is a business or whatever, like I'm gonna be a crazy millionaire. Like he was like, I'm gonna make weird FIFA videos. Like, in my
it'd be
house.
a really weird thing to come up with and be like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean isn't it crazy that this could be a job.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird time now. It could be a job.
Yeah.
So there's maybe younger people coming through who are like, oh, this could definitely be a job, and then maybe their parents aren't like, that's not a, they're not like shitting on them.
Yeah.
But I definitely have my fair share of like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, but that's the weird thing is that like I think now the most popular job for a kid to be is a YouTuber.
Do you think? Yeah.
That's like what they want. That's like our astronaut.
Yeah.
Which is like
That's so
sad.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
It's so sad. But it's like, yeah, that's what a lot of kids want to be now. And I guess, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because that's like basically all that they absorb now. Like what they watch.
Well, it's their movie star kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they've grown up with their entertainment. Like being 24, you would have
definitely
films. You would have been like, oh, cool. And then YouTube was starting coming as well.
Yeah,
but there's some kids today who are watching YouTube who that was the first thing they were like, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
I mean, he is.
Tom Cruise.
He is the thing.
Yeah, he is. Cool, yeah, but like they don't have a reference, maybe.
No, and also I think the mad thing is that like now no one has the same celebrities anymore. So it's like someone who's famous to me might be famous to you, might be different to you, it might be different to anyone, and it's weird. Like there's some people that I watch on YouTube and I watch them every day and no one knows who they are.
Yeah. And they've got like 1 million subscribers.
Exactly.
Like, how does no one know
at all who this person is?
But it's crazy that you can have these celebrities in such niche areas.
Yeah, I mean, because every niche now is basically like a huge amount of people. Like if you have like hundreds of millions of people in one niche, that's like one community. But so you started making videos as a kid, and then what happened? What happened next?
I just kept doing it, and then I think the thing that turned it into this could be something for me was, I think. Maybe it was before lockdown. Yeah, it was before lockdown. I'd made, I think it was like a video, like a local video.
Yeah.
Very hyper specific.
Yeah.
Tesco had closed down in my town, and I made I made a video taking the piss out of like.
That's so hyper specific.
Yeah, it's super hyper, right? So I was from Fleet, in Hampshire, and it's like really. I mean, listen to the way I sound.
Yeah.
It's really posh. Well, I say it's not really posh, but it's like quite well to.
It's posh enough.
Yeah, it's posh enough.
Yeah.
And I kind of made this video taking the piss of how. I didn't know were Tories. Yeah. And I just kind of, these are just the people around me.
Yeah.
How they'd respond, like so outraged that something so small would happen.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I did that, and it just started popping off.
Yeah.
Some for the right reasons, where people saw it was satire.
Yeah.
Others were like, yeah, too right. This guy's spitting facts. Which is really weird.
Yeah.
A bit concerning at times. But that popped off, like, I say popped off, it got like, maybe like 10, 20,000 views on Facebook, all local.
Yeah.
So everyone was talking about it. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I might do more of that.
I see.
But then I never got that again.
Yeah.
For ages.
Yeah.
Like,
that's mad. And it's, I think, what I like about your videos is that, like you say, hyper specific. You teach me about towns that I had never knew existed. Like I think you did one at Ascot.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that was a place.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Royal Ascot, but I didn't actually ever think of that as a place.
Yeah, it's a mad little town because it's mostly a race course.
Yeah.
And it's known for Royal Ascot, and then
it
has a couple cafes and maybe a pub and a petrol station.
Yeah.
And a few people that lived in there. It's like one small high street. So it was really weird going there.
Yeah.
And also seeing for myself it's not just. Well, it is just the race course.
Yeah.
Like, got some other.
Yeah, that actually has some other things.
There.
I mean, that's smart. So for you, like, so is this a full-time thing for you, like doing these videos, or do you do anything else?
Yeah, so it is. It's full-time now.
Yeah.
It's,
how long has it been full-time for you?
In November, I left my job in November.
Damn.
Yeah. And so it's only what are we now? So nearly a year.
Nearly a year.
Yeah.
Well,
so
congrats.
Months-ish. Thank you.
Well, it's an anniversary. Let's celebrate.
It's coming around. Yeah. But it didn't start really well.
Yeah.
So I say I left my job. They were making people redundant.
Oh, nice.
In fairness to me, I was like, all right, I'll be a coward if I don't put my hand up and take the pay and go.
Yeah.
So I did, and I knew I had like £4,000 or something like 4,500 or something like that, and a laptop.
Yeah.
To work, and I was like, if I was given this a couple of years ago, I would make it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the confidence I had before was like, I would make it. So I said to myself, I'm a coward if I don't. Take the redundancy and go. Mm-hmm. But so then I just burnt through that for about 3 months, and within that time managed to get enough clientele
to be doing
videos to be doing it.
That's wild.
I'm kicking the can down the road. Every time I get paid I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's a month and a half, okay.
No, but that's what I love. That is what I love, like, is people doing this kind of thing, like, and just like being brave about it, because it's like it can be the most fun thing in the world. Like, I mean, like I'm also a stand-up. Like that's like half of my time, but I also have a full-time job. And
what do you do?
So I'm a doctor.
What? I didn't know there was a doctor in the house.
I know. I mean, it's so weird because even saying that, I'm like, is this true? Like, I have to fact check myself.
I've like got this weird thing. People always just, I'm sure. I've got this really weird like part of the skin.
Oh my
penis.
God!
It's like no genuine.
I've been tricked once. I've fallen for that trick.
Maybe check it out. It's like gone lighter than the rest of it.
Oh God!
I don't know what that.
I mean, you can wait 6 months to see your GP. You can do that,
or I can do a podcast.
Oh my God! Yeah, but
you're a doctor. That's crazy, man. That's quality. Well done.
I mean, thank you. I mean, but it's also like I'm here on a Monday afternoon, so I'm probably not like a great.
You're not still going well.
No, yeah. So I'm a doctor like full time. So it's like half my friends are medics and they're like very head switched on, tight. It's like they always have to know where the next paycheck's coming from. Like they need a stability, like a ladder to climb. But like half my friends are comedians who are some of the most fun degenerates that I've ever met. And it's like, it's that thing about being able to be like, I don't necessarily know when the next paycheck's gonna come from, but it's just kind of trying to make it work. That's what I really love. So for you, is it TikTok? Is it the main thing now?
I mean, I think TikTok's really good for advertising the fact that I can do my job.
Yeah.
Just present or write something. Or, and edit and just and all sorts of things.
Rob Colfer.
It's weird because you have to kind of do everything.
You do, yeah.
Social things. I think TikTok kind of advertises that I can do it because you can get crazy reach on stuff.
Ridiculous.
Like, so many people see it.
Ridiculous.
But I don't make any money from TikTok itself.
No, that's the weird thing, is that it's like, it's almost like you kind of have to use it for something else.
Yeah.
That it's like the video. I mean, I think they're introducing like a creative program.
Yeah,
or
they
something.
are. That was like maybe this week or so.
Yeah.
I talked to a few people about it, and they were like really raving, like you can get a lot of money. But then I saw a couple of big creators saying that you don't know how much you'll get per view, 1,000 views until you join.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And then and it tells you.
Yeah.
And then once, I think that's right. You can fact check it, but I think I'm
fact check that up.
And then once you're in, you can't change your account.
Really?
So I'm not going to join, I don't think.
Interesting.
Because there was one guy, Dylan Page, who does like news. He's very
news
guy.
News daddy or whatever.
Yeah, and he was saying that he joined it, got a really low rate per 1,000.
Really?
Yeah, and then couldn't get back out, but it also was hiding some of his videos from people.
Really?
Yeah, so like from 99% of the audience, they weren't seeing certain videos, but he couldn't do anything about it.
Oh my god!
And then they have I know I'm really talking it down, but
no,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like apparently they have a rule where you can't talk about that.
Really?
You're on the program. It's like the most China thing ever.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's so funny about this. Is like step by step, they're just fucking you. You're gonna join this thing and you can't leave. And if you talk about it, you can't come to China.
Yeah, but if you talk about it positively, the video will get loads of views. I'm making 10K a month. Like everyone will see that and be like, oh my god, I got to I don't know. Jury's out on it. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, I mean, but it's weird. Like, why haven't they been able to monetize TikTok for like creators? I'm sure it's like more complicated. But I guess it's also, to be fair, like what I've noticed about TikTok is it almost doesn't matter who's following you, because it's always like a new group of people who see your videos, which is good and bad. Because it's good because, like you say, you get the reach, but you don't really build like a loyal necessarily group of people. I don't know. Do you feel like you have that, like from TikTok?
There's a handful of names that come up and I go, oh yeah, I've seen you commenting loads of times, you know.
Yeah.
And you've been there since forever. But generally, you reach new people. You don't have people checking in every video. No. Which for me, I like YouTube. I even like TV where you follow the story throughout and you kind of can get these in jokes. A lot harder on TikTok. A lot harder. My favorite kind of comedy is stuff that like callbacks. Yes, exactly, stuff that makes you feel part of the community. Like, oh, I get that. I've been watching since here. I get that. Community, but you don't.
No, but I feel like your videos definitely have like a callbacky. Well, not callbacky, but like there is a structure that repeats. Yeah, and you get more value from it the more you watch it. That's how I would say.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, was that a compliment?
No, I think because it's
a statement of fact.
It's a statement of fact, but I like it because it's something I intended.
Yeah, really.
So that felt like a compliment.
Oh yes, of course.
I did it right.
Of course. So like, where did that style of video come from? The interviewing people on the street. Did you just be like, see someone else do it, or did you just like one day think about it? How do I?
So I'd done it in my old job a couple times, and I was like, okay. So I was aware it was a thing. And I kind of saw that it was coming in like as a street interviewers. But I always approached it like taking the piss, because I found it really annoying, people coming up to you in the street talking to you. Generally it's like, leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I know you.
But so I was really like lampooning it for a while, and the sketches weren't doing well. I was like, what the fuck? And then I think one day we were in a town that I knew, and I did a little video in it, and I was like, okay, cool. And the video did well, and then I was like, all right, let me try another. I did another video in another town, and just while we were there, I was like, should I just ask a couple people what they think of their town? And it was crazy that people, how well it just did, like asking a local, and asking a set of locals, but then it kind of gets, because it was fun, and then it gets like a bit cynical, because you're like, it gets to the point where you start going, right, we need to make sure there's a college age kid in here, because everyone from his college will tag and be like, oh my god, and then it'll pop off. And you notice that if you don't do that, if you don't get a good demographic, but that's where it came from. Sorry, that's a bit extra, but that is where it came from.
I get you. I only reacted like that just because when you see behind the curtain, and it's like whenever I've tried to do stuff online or tried to do clips or whatever, it's the fact that like like, I thought you could just be an artist and put videos online, but there has to kind of be that game where you think about all of that stuff, which makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I think it's built towards that though, because you're always chasing views, chasing followers. They're the main thing you're chasing on this platform.
Yeah.
That you naturally, the way you build your art, you gear it. You can't help but gear it towards it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of always creeps in after a little while.
Yeah,
after a few repetitions, you go, why didn't that do well?
Yes,
and then you go back and you're like,
yeah.
oh, because it didn't have this aspect. Maybe if I add that, and it works. And you're like, oh, fuck.
So, do you think there's like an internal coherence to it, like the algorithm? Like, do you feel like the algorithm actually, there are boxes you can tick that will always make a viral video, or do you feel like it's just random sometimes?
I think there's a bit of both.
Okay.
I think I'm quite methodical, and I can, once I get a style and a format, I can look at it. I've just from doing it a long time, doing enough repetitions, I can look at it and be like, I'm pretty sure it will do well.
Really?
Or I'm pretty sure that's not going to do well. But you get it wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I get it right more than chance, but enough to be like, there's still some randomness out there.
And I guess you're still learning.
Yeah,
I guess
still learning.
So do you feel like if we were to look at the algorithm, we could actually find out box tick, everything?
Not everything.
Not everything. Yeah.
Not everything.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like external factors, just like things going on in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know, like sometimes on. What should I say? Sometimes when you do a reaction video to something that's happened, something very quick, it can do massively well. Other times it just doesn't.
Yeah.
But it will be ticking the same box.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
There's just stuff external to TikTok.
I get that. Okay, fine. What about? Okay, let's try this.
Okay, fine.
In this world,
done with that.
No. Here's what I want to do. In this world of clips, Argentina, could you stare at that camera and tell the world of TikTok Rob's key to a viral TikTok video?
My key to a viral TikTok video. Is that what you want?
Yes, but like you started it like an English GCSE. I don't know why.
I was just buying time.
I'm kidding. You can. What do you think? There's do you have any tips for people who want to like do?
Yeah,
TikTok?
my tip would be how you start it and how you end it.
Really?
Because I think what taste you leave in their mouth.
Okay.
Once you're done with them. That's a chef reference or something, not like a sexual reference.
Yeah.
No, but like when you consume some content, you're like, what does it leave you? Do you want me to talk?
No.
I keep doing this.
I made you so uncomfortable. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
What do you leave them with?
Yeah.
Do you leave them with something that was slightly not well, like you left it too long and felt like a better editor would have cut that there?
Yeah.
Or do you leave them with just what emotion, what feeling?
Mm-hmm.
So I think how you start it, get them to watch. Get them to watch it, something really quick, get them to watch and establish what you're giving them. And what you're giving them should be something good, like something interesting. Like rich people saying they hate rich people but don't realize they're rich. That's like a trend in mine.
Yeah.
And then end it on the biggest point you can usually. So what kind of message is that? What kind of taste does that leave in their mouth at the end?
Yeah.
It's always those 2 points.
Yeah.
Because what do you want to happen? You want them to watch the end.
Yeah.
So the algorithm knows that people watch it. But also you want to press like or comment.
Yeah.
And when usually people do that either right at the beginning because they just like you. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Or they do it at the end and they go, oh, I liked that.
I
you
see.
want to end it well. So
I see. Yeah.
That's it.
No, that makes sense. So like when you're coming up with videos, you like how much do you think about it? Like how what's the process for like you?
So with street interviews, I will know if I go to a town and I know that it's quite well-to-do and the people there are going to not have a sense of how much a loaf of bread is, then I know, all right, we're going to play on that because I'm quite passionate about that.
Really?
Like,
oh, that's interesting. Like you're like that like bubble of rich people is like something you find actually like interesting.
Yeah, because I've grown up around people who, I'm like middle class, but like I always felt like everyone around me had a bit more. I always felt like I was just getting in. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
And so it's always been fascinating to me to like speak, like when I hear someone say something like so outlandish, like they're like assume that you would have a horse. You know that stuff that they don't clock, but that stuff's always fascinated me. So when I go to one of these towns, I will know that I'm going to play on either like class or like or wealth, and usually those, especially now, it's quite. I find it personally quite important because
Yeah.
like, the cost
of living crisis.
crazy,
Yeah.
stuff, and the amount of money that some certain people are making.
Yeah.
And,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, off the back of this crisis as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, apparently the UK is one of the most unequal societies in terms of like class in the world, which is actually definitely obvious.
Yeah.
Like, because I wasn't born in the UK. I was born in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So I've been in the UK since I was like 10, and it is so crazy to me how you have places like that are so nice next to places that are just not. That's the kind of just not. But I like just how, because in like places like in America, for example, you have places like the Hamptons, near New York, but then that'll be like a huge area of that kind of like rich, more well-off people, and then the people who aren't as well-off will kind of be separate, almost
physically separate, aren't they?
Yeah, but here it's like you can see wealth everywhere and people without it next to them, and they're just so like near each other in a weird way.
You know that typical British thing of just going,
yes,
that's where that comes from.
Yeah,
that you're not physically separated from the people who are poorer than you.
Yeah. Just like that thing. That is literally that is honestly one of the weirdest things.
It is weird though, isn't it? We're so close to like wherever you are, you're just
like on
so close to
just on top of each other like that. So like for you, is it so when you're going, so you identify a place where you're like, this is a posh area, and then
sometimes a lot of them were just around near enough where I live, because I'd be going between home and London, and it was easy to do that train line, but like a lot of I mean, my brothers would help shoot, and because I don't want to drag them all the way over to the other side of London, I come back and do it around there, but it just happens Hampshire, Surrey, Berkshire just happens to be quite posh, and have some towns that aren't as well, so there's some good contrasts there, but I would approach it like that, and know generally the vibe. I want to kind of shit on wealthier people, or make them look stupid, or just not even make them look stupid, just show them being stupid. Just ask them a question and let them talk, and they invariably end up being really fucking stupid.
That's the mad thing. That is the mad thing, because it's like in my head, it's like it's silly, but I forget these are real people. Do you know what I mean? Like first, in somehow I kind of think that they're like in on it, but I guess they must not be. That's
it's funny because no, they're not, but sometimes they know me. Like, I've seen you do this, I'll do one. And then they'll say, so I'll ask them really pointy questions like, how much is your house worth, whatever, and that never makes it in. It's the questions like, oh, what are you doing next week? And then they're so casual, and they'll start telling me about some holiday they're going on. That sounds like it's cost tens of thousands of pounds. And not think anything of it, and that's what makes it in. That stuff. So they kind of thought they were in on it by giving funny answers to the obvious stuff that they were trying to dodge. But then it's that stuff.
So how does it work? Like literally, like step by step. So can you turn up to any town, just have a camera, microphone, just go for it? Like, do you have to ask people's permissions to be in videos? I literally don't even know.
Well, one of the things I was taking the piss out of when I first started doing sketches about street interviews was people not asking for permission.
Okay.
Because you're just running up to people in the street. Occasionally I've done it. And it doesn't feel great. Just to, except, sometimes you do it, you see someone who's like, they're into it, and you run over to them and do it. But generally, it doesn't feel great doing that. So... I'll turn up to a place, whatever town, and we don't go with a camera, but we go with just an iPhone. Which can probably look a little bit dodgy.
I know, that was some reason,
But I have the mic, and that kind of helps. I labelled it up so it looks a little bit like I gave it some flags. It looks a little bit more like I do this for a living. But we'll turn up and do that, and then we'll just talk to some people, but hey, we're doing a video about this, and we'll do that for a while just to get a sense of the town. If people would, and if we find everyone's so friendly, we might start running over to people. And if they don't look up for it, we'll just cut the camera and delete the video.
I see.
But,
so, like, how many places have you been to at this point, actually?
No, I haven't.
You haven't counted?
I haven't counted, but if I had to guess, it'd be like maybe only like 30, maybe
30,
20, 30.
And where is that? Like, cause in the UK, because I'm never really like, is it just this part of the UK?
It's just so far, it's just this southwesternly corner of from London, outside of London.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
It's just around there. I haven't even gone around to. I went to Brighton.
Yes, that's where I live.
Really?
Yeah.
But I didn't do. I wasn't doing street interviews back then.
Yeah,
I was just going to locations.
Oh,
before I
see.
realised that street interviews were way better. I was just turning up, paying for a train, turning up, getting
Yeah.
10 minutes, going, I'm in Brighton, and
Oh
sucks
yeah,
because- and I just
yeah.
I should have been.
That's If I remember, you did that. Of course you did. Yeah. Then that's. So do you feel like you're gonna travel the whole UK or just England or what?
I'd like to do a few more places.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to go to Birmingham in a couple of weeks because a friend of mine, he lives there, and he's like, yeah, come up, we can shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
I think that would be a different vibe.
Really?
Yeah. I think it'd be more of like I'm not trying to put him in any way.
Yeah.
Just see what Birmingham's like.
We'll see what Birmingham's like. Yeah. Nah, that is interesting. Yeah. So like for you, what do you think like is next? Like, do you feel like you'll do this for as long as you can and just keep making videos, or do you want to do something else? Like, is this the end game basically?
Well, it's not the end game.
Yeah.
I always wanted to like way down the line. Everyone says I want to make make a film.
Yeah.
Make a film.
Yeah.
I love writing. That's probably my passion, is the writing, not really performing.
Yeah. Really?
I just love writing the jokes.
Really?
Yeah. It's so therapeutic to me.
So what writing do you do?
So I'll write. Well, if it's short sketches.
Yeah.
Obviously, any of the jokes from my TikToks, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Then like maybe some like short sitcom stuff.
Yeah.
I just love like putting words together and they make people laugh.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Mate.
How does it do that?
Wait, have you ever done stand-up?
Once.
Why aren't you doing stand-up?
I tried it once, but I was
Yeah.
too similar to characters I played on TikTok. Luke was there, actually.
Was he?
Yeah, I felt it was very. You were there. Yeah, it was bad.
You didn't even say whether
It wasn't that bad.
All right, the writing was the only thing I think that made it not that bad.
Okay,
The
fine.
performance was terrible. It was like
Okay.
I was trying to be what I was like on TikTok.
Oh, interesting.
Or on Instagram.
Were you already like big on TikTok at this point, or like?
Yeah, I had enough following.
Yeah.
Maybe like 50, 60K, but like
Yeah.
I had enough.
Yeah.
To feel like people.
Yeah, I'm a big deal, you know. So wait, tell me the whole night. Like, what was it?
Oh, God.
How big was it? Like,
No, it was small. It was at Cavendish Arms Comedy Virgins.
Oh yes.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Not the place, not the venue. The venue was great. It was
Yeah,
really friendly.
yeah.
Really friendly. But I got really nervous and drank more than I don't even drink. I just got really nervous and drank more. And then as soon as I got up, I was like, I've had too much.
Really?
Alcohol. Yeah, immediately.
Was that out of nerves or?
Yeah, so I drank because of nerves, and then
Yeah.
the effect of alcohol was way worse than nerves.
Yeah.
And I got up and I did a routine which I practiced. Actually, I remember getting up and struggling with the mic, and it wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I'd practiced that. As soon as I got, the mic is not meant to be like this. It's meant to be here, and then I take it off, and it's easy.
Oh, mate, yeah, that is so
And that really
relatable.
jarred me. It made me like really like, oh fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I was like, I'm really drunk.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did this routine, which I'd written. I thought it was all right. It was some jokes about Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Jokes about like house prices. But like the performance-wise, I don't know who I am on stage.
You don't? Yeah.
No, 'cause
I mean, neither do I, pal.
Yeah.
I
I'm trying to find myself.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. If I could just do it again, I would do it as me.
Interesting.
And just be openly me. But I was
Yeah.
like, I like making videos where I can be a character. And I'm
Okay.
playing a character. It's not me so much out there to everyone. And I think that was jarring for me trying to.
I see. So for you, what do you want to be the character person, or do you want to be like a stand-up who tries to be funny themselves? Like, what for you? And then what do you feel like you have an affinity for?
I think it's honestly, I really like writing and
Yeah.
either by myself or sat in a room with like other comedians and just coming up with stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just like that kind of solitude
Fine.
and going, hey, I made this for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
brought something into the world for you. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing people can do.
Yeah.
Which everyone does in some way, like comedians or like any artists.
Yeah.
They bring stuff into the world.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing for me. Performing, I'm not too bothered.
Yeah, not too bothered about
No.
performing.
So even like when I do street interviews,
Yeah.
I kind of make myself not perform, which be more myself, which is like I'm happy and comfortable being awkward.
Yeah.
Or in a silence.
Yeah.
And that translates to comedy for those.
I see. Yeah.
So that's a nice relief of like not.
So for you, like, so it seems like you more prefer like the American style sitcom kind of thing. That's like the kind of thing you want to be doing, basically. Yeah. No, that's fine. So like basically, stand up is just, it would not be the thing for you.
I just don't think it is.
Yeah.
I would write for other people. And be like, oh, cool. That joke hit. But I just don't think. I can't put into the performance as well as a lot of people can.
No, that's what I mean, I find that like, I mean, I don't know, because I don't know how much of a compulsion there is for people who do stand up, like, towards, like, I don't know, performing and generally, because there are some people who just like to write, and then they go up, and then they perform, and they don't seem like people who you'd necessarily think of as performers, but they're such strong writers that it works for their stand up. But like, I do definitely get what you mean, like for me, the idea of not wanting to be on stage performing my own jokes is like, what? Like, what? What?
So you want to play up front, you want to get all the goals.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, I admire other people's writing more than I admire my own. Okay. Like, for me, I feel like the thing in stand-up that I feel not came naturally, because that makes me sound like a fucking dick. But I mean, as in there are things that I struggled with, and that was the writing, even the discipline of having to write however often, whatever. I really struggled with that. But the being on stage part, I never found difficult. That's the part that I really enjoy.
Is that because you're just so fucking likable?
No.
You walk in a room, you're just a likable guy.
No.
As soon as I watched your clips, I was like, yeah, fuck. I'll speak to this guy.
I mean, likewise.
Thank you.
But no. But I mean, it wasn't even like that. I was on stage and I thought they were enjoying it. I was just like, I'm comfortable here. Whether you like it or not. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Whether you like it or not, I'm having fun up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like,
would you perform stuff that someone else wrote for you?
So that's the thing.
Just in that contained world, not whether that's right. You should.
Yeah, would I?
Would you enjoy that if you did do that?
If someone wrote me a joke, I would perform it. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I have punchlines that people have given me that have been better than the ones I've written. Yeah, I'm Drake. I'm a ghost. I'm ghostwritten completely. But no, the thing is, it's tough because I never really know what the right thing is, because I've given people punchlines. People have given me punchlines, jokes I can't say, jokes they can't say, and not even because of race or sex or whatever, but just because it's not me. Even you said before about you don't know who you are on stage. I don't really either. I've probably done 150 to 200 gigs. Okay. But I mean that's a lot. But for comedians, that's nothing. Some comedians can do that in a year. But I've been going for about 2.5 years, and I kind of know who I am on stage, but at the same time, it's still kind of figuring it out. That's the thing, yeah. But so I don't really have a problem with reading other people's jokes. It's just what I guess I don't like is when people pretend like someone hasn't written their jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you did a late night show, you'd be okay reading the joke because everyone knows it's written by.
Yeah, but I guess it depends what the goal is then, because I feel late night isn't stand up. To me, stand up has to have something of the stand up in it. So it's if I go up on stage and did Chris Rock's Bigger and Blacker.
Okay, I'd love that. I want to see it. Do you want to see that? I want to see that.
If I did, yeah. That's basically the impression I was trying to do when I started stand up.
Yeah.
If I did that, to me that's not stand up. To me that's a one man show.
Yeah.
So it's almost it only becomes stand up when it's my stuff.
Wow, okay.
Even if or maybe it's not about the stuff itself, it's the voice. It's so if someone writes a joke for me, then it's my voice.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's the same thing I was getting at with doing a character on stage. It's I wrote those jokes for that character.
Yeah.
And then I tried to perform it as me.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah. What about doing a character thing on stage?
What, on stage?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Do you know what I just love? Do you know what I just love?
Do you know what I love? Do you know what I hate? Kids.
I love.
Yeah.
Other comedians. I just think everyone's so fucking funny and talented. It's so cool seeing people come out with stuff I could never do. It's just so cool seeing people be themselves to the max and just make other people laugh.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with comedians. I love writing stuff for them.
Yeah, and when
I
you
just
say
don't-
comedians, you mean stand-ups? Or?
Stand-up,
Yeah.
sketch, anyone who wants to get involved, even if they're like a DP,
Yeah.
and they just have a comedy leaning.
Yeah.
There's so much comedy in the camera.
Yeah.
Just
No,
anyone in that area,
Yeah.
who wants to make comedy art,
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can do the characters justice ever. I think my part to play is writing. And meeting people, and like speaking to this person, that person, be like, oh, you guys would match.
Yeah, I see.
I love that. That
see.
satisfies me.
I see. So, like, what have you written anything and put it out into the world? Like, I literally have no idea.
No, nothing. There's nothing out in the world that I've got there. The only thing I focus on writing is just sketches. I've written a lot of sketches. I just keep doing that.
Yeah.
There's a couple sketch shows that I've written in full. Some 30 page, some 20, 10.
Yeah.
And thrown away.
Why?
Two reasons. So one. Okay, so I didn't throw them away initially because they were shit.
Okay.
But I thought they were shit.
Yeah.
I threw them away because I didn't have the know-how to make it happen well.
Fine, like the practical stuff.
Yeah, I was still playing the characters in it.
Oh,
and I knew there was
see.
better people to play these characters, so I just benched them, parked them for ages.
Yeah.
And then by the time I came back to them, I was like, oh, I know some more people now who can do this. But it's shit. I need to rewrite.
You need to rewrite it. I see.
And then I'll start rewriting something, and I'll meet a couple other people, and I'll go, oh, they'd be so good for this.
Yeah.
Write this.
Yeah.
So there is some stuff that I've done. I haven't put it out anywhere, but there's a fair catalogue I've got.
Is there?
It's somewhere in a box.
Yeah, is it actually in a box? Like in a physical box?
Yeah, there's a physical box. I was on FaceTime to my brother the other day. I was like, oh, I just found your sketch show from like 5 years ago. Whatever, maybe 4 years ago. And I was like, oh, shit. I read it.
Oh, man. So, like, what? So, do you ever plan on doing anything with them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I'm just trying to get to the point financially where I can just go, right, I'm just going to do 2 months of making this.
I see.
It doesn't matter. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Feel that freedom of like.
Yeah, now I can just do this.
Yeah.
What about like? Would that be a like TikTok thing, like small video thing, or would you?
That.
No. That's what I love. What I love about like TikTok is there's such like an abusive relationship with everyone who uses it.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone actually be like, yeah, this is great. I'm having fun on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so glad for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it didn't give me that confidence boost of, oh, some people like this.
Yeah.
Like sharing something to TikTok that gets so much better reception than it did to just your mates or people you kind of knew on Instagram.
Yeah.
It just changed like, oh, I'm okay at this.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing to give you confidence. So great for that, but also just the audiences on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you get some great audiences, but also the net is just so broad that you catch some audiences. We were saying maybe before we started that just like they don't stay with you throughout.
No,
they don't.
No,
really.
They don't.
So I wouldn't make, if I did a sketch show, it would be minimum YouTube.
Minimum YouTube.
YouTube.
That's the base.
We're talking landscape.
No, I mean
minimum YouTube.
To me, that's pretty low.
It's pretty low. But
Yeah.
like, I think if I did it for YouTube, it would be like, oh, here's a pilot, and then just start shopping it to places.
Oh, I see.
I would love to.
Yeah.
For some reason, my goal is still TV, even though that's fucking bullshit.
I know what you mean.
Do you know?
No, but I think
I think because my parents like TV.
Yeah.
They still watch TV.
No, but that's the bullshit thing is that
Yeah.
it's like even though TV is dying, we all still fucking
wanna be
respect it. Exactly.
Yeah. I still wanna be on.
I still want to do. I don't know if you know the BBC New Comedy Awards, that kind of thing. Yeah. So like one of the best things about that is like you get to be on TV for your semis or your finals, whatever. And like
you were on TV.
I've not been on TV yet.
What was the?
Oh yes,
were.
I've been. Okay, yes, I have.
It's so bad. He doesn't even remember.
I forgot. No, it was I got interviewed by BBC News for winning the Chortle student competition. So that I forgot about that because in my mind I was like, I've never done stand up on TV, but I've done a few interviews. And it is weird because like even though the BBC New Comedy Award, which is a sick comedy award, I'm nothing against it, but the final and the semi-final will probably not get that many views. Like that many people will really see it.
Where does it go out?
Literally on iPlayer. I don't know if it's actually on TV, but
I wonder if the right people are seeing it, because that's always been my thing, is like make sure the right people are seeing it. 'Cause people looking for comedy talent will watch that.
Yeah. So as in terms of an industry thing, it's really good. In terms of building an audience thing, it's not really, which is kind of weird because it's like, even though comedy is just like, oh yeah, we're all free spirits, we do what we want, blah 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 blah, we don't need an institution, we don't need a job. It really is like, you do comedy, you do your nights, you do your little, you get better until the industry recognizes you, and then your career starts. That's how we really see it. Like, even if you grew a podcast or an Instagram or a TikTok or whatever that was really big, for some reason that isn't, that's not the thing.
When is that gonna just switch? Is that like an age thing? Like as the young audiences get older, is that gonna be like?
Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, maybe it'd be interesting to ask people who are like 5 now what they think. But I think for the time being, like, even if you look at like news, for example, like I don't really read BBC or like any newspapers or whatever. That's just not how I get my news. I get all my news from like independent people on YouTube and stuff, who I kind of know their biases, and then from that I kind of make an opinion based on their biases, basically.
Have you rehearsed that?
No. Well, actually, this whole podcast is
you're about
rehearsed.
to tell me about some conspiracy.
Those podcasts isn't big enough to do that. Yeah, we can't be cancelled yet when we are. But yeah, no, like, but the thing is, there is still some legitimacy in hearing something from BBC News. That's like
it's so ingrained that when you hear BBC News, you're like, oh, that's a big thing.
Yeah, it is a big thing. Yeah,
it's still there.
And so is the BBC channel and all those stuff, like Channel 4 and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess Netflix kind of helps a bit, because that's a bit more of like it feels more indie, even though it's like a $1 billion company.
I just think you can really. I would say this.
I just think.
It's just a thought.
I just a thought.
But I fucking believe
it. Media.
Like, you can make it.
Yeah.
You can make it without that stuff. You just have to accept that making it isn't having that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know that getting on BBC isn't the thing. Like, if you have a massive YouTube following, you're making comedy or you're making films, short films, whatever, people are loving it and they're enjoying it and you feel proud of it, you've made it.
Yeah.
And, and obviously you've got enough finances from it, which I'm assuming you would if you've got big. That's, you've made it. You can do the things you want, and you can do the thing you wanted to. You just don't need to get the mum and dad of the media to be like, good job.
Good job. Is that making it for you, like the financial part? Like, is that the biggest part?
It's important, I think, because I think it was the first time I realised that feeling of, as you go into like college, end of school, and you're like year 11, year 10, 11, year 12, 13, you go to, and uni age, you kind of clock whether you have money or not.
Yeah. University is like the one, I think. Yeah.
And you start seeing, and I think that's when I started feeling, I don't have much money to buy things I want, and not like as in things I like. Some of it just things I need. Just things I need.
Warmth and food.
I remember making. I don't even have. It's not a rag story because I'm so privileged. Like, where I got to grow up and like school I got to go to so good. Like, really helped me.
Likewise.
Yeah. Doctor. I remember making sketches in my girlfriend's car, and we had to keep jump starting the car every time we wanted to start it.
Oh my god!
And I worked at Domino's at the time, and I had a bit of money to get little things. But like, the feeling of getting when I got my job at Lab Bible, and to have like 2K a month. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is what it feels like. That feeling of like, okay, I don't need to worry. That's covered. Start living a life. For me, it's a really important feeling, a state of being to be in.
Yeah, of course it is.
Have that safety, which is just something I didn't feel for many years. So it just can let you think freely, get out of that mindset. It's just.
Do you think, because there's a lot of, I find like, because I don't know if you know, so I did another podcast called O Captain My Captain, where we interviewed like comedians, like successful-ish comedians. So we had like James Acaster on, Jimmy Carl.
I did see so,
So like, and the thing is, from interviewing all these people, and nothing personally against them, just like all these like big successful people, like a lot of them romanticize the struggle upwards because they're like, I miss my open mic days because those are the days, where it was kind of fun, blah blah blah. And it's like kind of looking back romantically, which is understandable, of course. But like, do you feel like there's any value in that struggle, like for an artistic thing, like to become funnier?
Yeah, I think you get different types of struggles. It depends what you mean by struggle, because like some people struggle financially, some people struggle like just personally, like who am I?
Yeah.
Like, should I be making comedy? Is this not,
yeah.
Like in that sense, you struggle against like your own families, like what they want from you.
Yeah, of course.
I think there's value in it because you kind of through that forge a path of who you are, and what you're gonna do. But like, as for romanticizing it, I think every time you're in that situation, you're like, I want to be not here.
Yeah.
so it's so rude to be like, oh, that was so good.
Yeah,
yeah. Laugh about, you know, do you remember when jumpstart the car? And
yeah.
Like, that's cool to laugh about, and it's a nice feeling of like, oh, how far we've come. But it's not like, oh, I wish I was back then.
Yeah, no, I get it. Wait, sorry. You jump-started the car.
We had to keep
I don't know why.
the car.
Wait. I didn't engage with that first.
So we couldn't afford... to just get it fixed, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
So we just kept, and there was some electrical problem.
Yeah.
So we didn't, I remember having like £8. Was it like £8?
Yeah.
But it wasn't portable because I wasn't really paying rent.
No,
it was like, I just have that money.
Yeah.
And so we just had to keep jump starting everywhere we went.
Yeah.
And she was so good. She would like drive me to this location to shoot something, help me shoot.
Whoa,
so nice.
That's great.
But yeah, they'd be like, okay, let's start the car.
Yeah.
They were really good at jump starting the car, just because of.
Wait, can you still jump start cars? Is that a real thing?
Oh yeah. Well, not the. Well, that's how old the car was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Newer
of course.
ones, it fucks up with the electrics, I think.
Yeah.
You do that, but it was an older model. It was an older model car, so it didn't really.
Okay, fine.
That problem.
Do you feel like that's a skill? Like, let's say if you were if you were being chased by someone, you could jumpstart any car.
I need a battery. I need a battery.
Or
like, I think you need either like a starter battery. You can have a battery that can do that. You can have these packs.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford that. No, I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
So it would be like pulling up next to, oh, excuse me, mate, can I just jumpstart my
car?
Your car?
I see.
But if their car was too new, you couldn't do it because they'd be worried it would fuck their electric.
Yeah.
So you have to go to someone who has a tuba car.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
You've really been through it.
Not at all. But
also but not really. No, that's joking.
So, but in summation, I think it's really important to have enough money to not worry.
Yeah, of course.
Or at least not to worry massively.
Yeah, of course.
To then create. Not everyone's privileged enough or lucky enough to get that opportunity, but if you can get it, it's so helpful. It comes across in your art that you're making stuff that you want to make.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you. Yeah,
you're a doctor.
I'm allegedly a doctor. Yes, allegedly. As far as you know, I'm a doctor. Yeah. But yes, I am a doctor.
I got your word on it.
No, yeah, but I think for me actually, because I've just graduated, so I'm 24, but like, so I've just finished my 6 years of uni, and I've been doing stand up since like the third year of university, and I was going like pretty hard, like 2, 3, 4 times a week, probably for 3 years. That's probably what I've been doing, like 2.5 years or whatever. But since I've started working, I want to do it more. Yeah. Like it's like this like podcast, like anything I'm doing now, like my output has increased more because now I'm like, oh, this is the real world. Yeah. I want to be a creative. I want to like make stuff.
This is the real world. What was that? Like you were like, this is the shit stuff?
Yeah.
This is the real world.
No, this is like having a job. Like, because I've been a student for my whole adult life. Yeah. And like most people go to uni for 3 years. I was in uni for 6 years. 6 years. Yeah. Which is like, but it's like people.
It shows. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not going to say stuff.
That's why you're good. No, but it's like, it's like, it's like when people act like it's 6 years, that's such a long time to be in uni, but it's like 6 years where I did fuck all and I was supported by the state and no one expected anything from me, so I could just be like doing comedy, not really caring about money, whatever, for 6 years. But now that I'm like an adult and I'm like, okay, fine, this is what it's like to have a 9-to-5 job, I'm like, okay, no. So it's like making me more want to like do like comedy, like be creative and stuff like that.
You have to crush yourself a little bit to feel that.
Yeah,
I remember Sainsbury's over Christmas was me.
Oh,
I used to play these Christmas songs the whole shift. And I'd be there from it was dark when I got there, dark when I left.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I can't. The whole time I was just thinking like about comedy and jokes and come up with stuff and sketches. I just couldn't. It was driving me insane, man. Just being there, doing that job that I hated.
Oh my God.
Can't keep doing this. You need that though. To
you
make
do.
You go, oh, look at that.
I know exactly. Yeah. So for you, like, has it been like? Do you have anyone who you think was an inspiration for you as a kid? Like
as a kid,
like did you have that mindset as a kid, like making like being like, I want to make jokes, blah blah blah.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
I just looked up to him so much.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Has he even been famous for like that long?
I was in. Yeah, so he was in before he did Community.
Yeah.
He was in a sketch troupe called Derek Comedy.
And were you a fan?
Massive fan. Massive. I think my older brother was like found them, and I think my oldest brother probably found him, was like, shared him with us, and he made music. So I just love the fact that he made music, comedy, and he could act, and I just love that. Yeah. So I always followed him. I was like, I'd love to do all the things.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy.
So good.
Like, he's like actually like an incredible stand-up as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think he's not doing it anymore.
What was really encouraging when you watch stuff like that is like you watch his stand-up, and it was, I can't remember who, but he's very similar to someone. I don't know if he had a routine that was maybe very Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Or something, but you go, okay, everyone starts by kind of you mentioned earlier, when you kind of copy,
you do,
what
definitely.
you know, and then you kind of build.
No, I get that.
It's encouraging to see someone that you look up to do that. And know that you can start from there, and then you know.
No, definitely. I mean, because that's literally the cliche way that everyone starts. Like, everyone has in stand up, it really is you're chasing the people you look up to. I think because it's like, I mean, for me, it was Chris Rock, it was Dave Chappelle. Like, it was just constantly wanting to be like, these two people are like the best like combination I've ever seen. And it's like it's like, but then eventually your voice has to come out. And that, I think I used to not really understand how that worked, because I used to be like, oh, you know, what if I'm just doing an impression of these people for the rest of my life or whatever. But it's like, by going on stage, your voice kind of comes out. And that's what I think the reason why I was encouraging you to do stand-up wasn't even because I was like, oh, stand-up is great, whatever. But I think it's just a useful tool for almost finding yourself in a way, because you realize, like I was saying before, when you say jokes that you can't pull off, you kind of realize, oh, this is how I present to the world.
Yeah,
this is how people see me.
Yeah.
Like so like this, like, so this, I think the biggest thing that like I learned from doing the podcast, and this is like, it's like from Jimmy Carr, like when we interviewed him like on Zoom. Never been in a room with him.
You always qualify by going on Zoom.
Never on Zoom. I mean, I have to, because it's fucking crazy. Like, but fucking mental, by the way. Yeah. But like, one of the most useful things I learned from it, which has helped me so much with my writing, was he was like, you have to either choose, are you a charm person or are you charisma? And it's like, we kind of say those two things like they're the same, but they're actually not. If you want to be successful in stand-up or in anything really, you kind of have to decide which one are you. So like, charm is someone like, let's say Russell Howard, or someone who's like very bright and like, I'm gonna come to you. And then charisma is someone who's like, no, you're gonna come to me. So like it's like someone who you want to be doing whatever they're doing. It's like Dave Chappelle is charisma, Chris Rock is charisma, and you can just go through the list and just kind of allocate. Even like Donald Glover is like, he's kind of charisma, but he can also kind of be charm as well. Yeah. So it's like, and I think that's also actually, like, if you look at it that way, I think that's a good reason why Donald Glover is so talented, because for him, he can be Childish Gambino and be charisma, then he can be on stage and be charm. Yeah. And it's like, you can kind of switch between the two.
That's cool. Yeah. That is really cool.
Yeah. It's a really useful way. I think that's really helped.
Yeah. I'm going to be thinking about that. That's really,
I mean, it's
What are you?
For me, I think in person, I'm like, when you meet me, I think I'm charm, but on stage, I'm charisma. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that like you're saying you're charismatic or you're saying you're charming or whatever. It's like that is the like, which way of making people interested in what you're doing are you pursuing? That's
So on stage you're bringing them. Come to me.
Yeah, come to me. Yeah. Right. Like, I don't, like, on stage I feel like it's, I portray the idea that I don't really care if you're laughing. Like I'm seeing myself as like I'm good enough to make you laugh. But in real life, when I meet people, I'm like, oh no, actually, like hi, nice to meet you, blah blah blah. Like I try to be quite like a nice person. I wouldn't act like that normally, and it's like somehow I've become that person from performing.
Got you.
And I don't know how.
You're just slowly morphing into your on-stage persona.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, it's a good way to figure out what kind of things you can write, and also it's a good way to like get better in writing generally. But I know it's not for everyone.
No, that's cool though. That is a cool technique. I wonder. Yeah. I'm just working out how I can use that to my own advantage.
Yeah.
Somehow, use that information.
Like everything. Everything.
Do you do that?
I do.
Like, how can I apply that to my life?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. I mean, and that's, I mean, it's I guess TikTok is also like that as well. And like videos are like that because you realize from the videos you put out what people react to or not. And there are some videos that if I did them, people would be like, why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. Yeah. But there are other videos that if I did them, people are like, oh yeah, that really makes sense. That tracks with this type of person.
So do you think the audience is the best teller of which one you are? Because like if you go for charisma and they don't come, you charm.
You're charm. I think the sad thing is you can have people who are predisposed to charisma who are not charismatic enough to gather an audience. And the same thing with charm. There are people not charming enough to gather an audience.
It's cool because like I'm just like backdating like all that stuff and trying to apply it to stuff I've done. Out. And I always write sketches for to play characters that are really like overconfident. That's the comedy I've grown up loving. Like people are overconfident and they fail.
That's very British.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's
British,
very. So I always like doing like the overconfident Tory or the overconfident Danny Dyer.
You love Danny Dyer.
I really do.
You love Danny Dyer.
I actually shot a whole Danny Dyer sketch today.
Did you actually?
Yeah, shot it was a sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of the shoot, they replied like, "Yeah, we're gonna go with the other sketch." Because I was so confident they were going with that. I probably misread the message. Okay. So I got to shoot it all again.
Yeah.
Danny Dyer. I do those characters like the overconfident. They're my favorite. But then always have them kind of bumbling idiots a little bit, because that's me. I fall over all the time. I put my knees on shit. I'm clumsy. But somehow I have this confidence as well. But I think that's the funniest characters, that are really really confident, and then they're just fucking idiots. Like I'm always drawn to that.
That is very British. Isn't it? That's the thing. We British comedy is watching other people suffer.
Yeah, and you know how this is just thought now. I don't know if this is even true. Yeah, but you know how like British comedy will do, and it's a lot of Ricky Gervais, maybe The Office.
Yes,
he'll say something so confident, he'll say something, and then that quiet, and there's looks to camera. Yeah, that beat of like. Beat, I wonder if that's just a British thing, because we wouldn't say anything in that situation. Someone's overconfident, they say some shit that's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
No one says, oh, that's not true.
No,
maybe in American comedy, they'll call them out.
Yeah, and that's where the comedy will come from.
Yeah. But we would...
And you don't
say it, don't we? I wonder if that's where that comes from. Like,
that's actually so true. Yeah, and like the look to the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, American comedy. Like, so wait, which one do you prefer actually between the two, American and British?
What, The Office or American?
No, generally comedy.
I really think American comedy's a lot better.
Do you actually?
I don't think for me, I've just been drawn more to the American. I like British comedy. There's some good stuff out there, but I just think the Americans have so much more variety in the stuff they do. Like I'm talking like about sketch maybe.
Yeah.
I just
think.
Nah, that's. I always go between the two though.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm sitting on American.
Yeah.
I just like the wackiness and the weirdness. But at times you get like they go over the top. There's a lot of loud stuff. Weirdly, that's
just them.
A lot of loud stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get a balance of the two.
Yeah. See, what I would say is I feel like with American stand-up, not even to say which one do you prefer, like stylistically between British and American. I think it's just the fact that with Americans they have the ability to go to so many more cities and travel this basically
so cool, yeah.
vast continent, performing to different audiences.
Yeah.
And there are just more gigs and more comedians, and there's also like, it's not, if you're at the top
fucking country, it's
yeah,
way
exactly.
more people.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why American comedians at the top are so much richer. That's just
Right.
they're just a bigger audience.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is, I think probably on average, they have the opportunity to grow more because they can perform so many more times. So I'd probably say the quality of stand-up in America is probably bigger, better than in the UK.
Wow.
But not because UK comedians are bad, it's just how do you compete with a continent of a playground to learn how to get better at comedy.
Yeah.
It would be like if I said to you, for 10 years you're going to try and get good at stand-up, but you can only be in London. You
get to a certain point,
Yeah,
right?
you get to a certain point. You get to like a threshold. So that, but I think stylistically, British comedy stand-up is probably more varied, and you're more allowed to be not a normal comedian, I suppose, because like I feel a lot of American comedians are either doing like a Richard Pryor thing, or they're doing like a Jerry Seinfeld thing, whatever. It's all kind of like, oh, I am the person who stands at the front of the stage. I wear a suit, maybe. I have a stool, and I just tell you about my life.
Yeah.
But in the UK, we have like James Acaster, we have Milton Jones, like we have Russell Howard, like even like someone like Joe Lycett. Like these people are all on such greater deviations from that. I think that's really the difference.
So because the market share is smaller, they got to diversify a little bit more.
Yeah, I
Whereas,
think
like
that's
you
probably
said,
it.
America, there's like, oh, I'll just find some audience down.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'll be the same guy.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. But yeah.
What about like television? Television or like multimedia, like comedy?
Like the
like,
difference.
What do you prefer?
What do I prefer? I'd probably say I was raised on American comedy, but I think I prefer British comedy. Probably. I just feel like British comedy is like, it makes me more gutturally laugh.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I feel that the American stuff I like, I go, oh, that's clever. Kind of. It's more I'm laughing because of how clever I felt like the writing was, or like...
Yeah.
But like, I just keep rewatching Peep Show.
Yeah,
and
me
like,
too.
Like, come on, man. Like,
yes.
It's so... It just...
Yeah.
That America doesn't have that.
Exactly.
So when you get down to show by show, I think I know there's less, but I think UK does win on some of the like massive hits it's got. Like,
yeah. Even like Peep Show, like I can't even explain why that show is funny.
I could probably get rid of 5 top American shows and keep that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But then I still feel like I like American comedy. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
You made me question. So
no, me too. I think it's like Actually, I'll take it back. I laugh more on American comedy, but I appreciate British comedy more. Like, Peep Show is just such a show where, like, I can't even explain, like, what the joke is. It's just kind of like, like these two guys who have a shit life, and that's kind of it.
Because you're not laughing at Mark's one-off, like, one-liners about, you know, like, Stalingrad or whatever.
Yeah,
It's not, you're like, oh, that's Mark, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you're laughing out loud at the one-liner.
No.
I think in American comedy, I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not even an expert. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But maybe there's more one-liners and punchlines that you're like, oh, that's where the joke is.
Yeah.
With Peep Show, it's like that feeling of being Mark or being Jeremy in that situation that you created themselves.
Yeah.
It kind of it's that's got the humor or the pain.
Yeah, and it's mad as well. Like as show structure, has anyone else done that? Like since them, literally
like the
POV thing. Like I don't even know.
They tried to do an American version.
Did they?
Yeah, it was fucking shit. I think they might drop the POV thing for it.
Really?
Yeah.
So what? It's just a show about people who live in a flat.
Dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Did you ever watch In-Betweeners? Was that?
I never got into it.
Really?
I just from an early age I was like, that's misogynist. No, what's that?
You're not like other men.
No, my number is no.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, no, I get you. No, it is mad.
Jarred me.
Yeah, even from
really
as a
did.
kid. Like what? Like how? Like I think it came out for me when I was like in year 4, maybe a bit, maybe a bit older.
Yeah. So
no, I'm like year 6 probably.
Six-ish,
yeah,
around then. So around like a time when you kind of in with the lads making jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just never quite got me. Like,
Yeah, no, I get you. That's mad. I guess.
I've enjoyed it more watching it now, knowing this is going to be horrific. Some of the stuff they say.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it more now, knowing that ahead, and just kind of enjoying it as a comedy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just never got me.
Do you feel like are there like limits to comedy? Like generally jokes.
Generally,
Yeah.
yeah, man. We live in a real world,
Yeah.
and other people should come first.
Yeah. Interesting.
Comedy's an art form.
Yeah.
Like, you don't kill people to save paintings. People do. People
Yeah,
do.
people
do that.
do
People
do
do
that.
that. But,
People do that, yeah.
But I mean, you shouldn't.
Yeah, of course, of course.
We're human beings. We're art in ourselves. Like, just love each other first.
Where do you put yeah, because it's I mean I agree as well, obviously, in principle. It's just I always find it difficult because it's like, what is there space for someone to say stuff that's fucked up but is funny? And what is fucked up? Like, that's like, what is the limit? I guess it's kind of like you know it when you see it. I guess, I don't know.
Who's you? Because like in 2023, you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff you didn't know when you saw it. Because in 2030, people were like, you should have known that when you saw it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
very context dependent. On like the world you've grown up in, and we live in an imperfect world.
Yeah, we do.
So
do we?
Yeah.
Damn. Someone should make that a quote.
Ideally, it's getting better,
Yeah.
and we start clocking more stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just people.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
just trying to. Let's not make people hurt from it.
Yeah,
ideally.
exactly. Yeah, I do.
And if someone does raise a claim, maybe take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe don't tell everyone they've got to stop telling jokes.
Yeah, I mean, there is I think that's also another thing is like with American comedy as well. I feel they have more like less limits in what they allow.
Okay.
I think that's the other thing. I think we're, for better or for worse, really. Like Dave Chappelle, although love him as a comedian, and he was big inspiration why I got into comedy. I mean,
I couldn't stay with that lot.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it was fucking.
It was the trans people stuff. I couldn't.
It was. Did you watch?
I
it?
really like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
And I watched that, and I was like,
I know, right?
I really went, I just can't get with that. I was
And
like, that's just how I feel.
I know, that's the thing. I mean, that's the same thing with me. Like, I was a huge fan. Like, I can't even deny how much of an effect it had on me wanting to do stand-up. And I still think he's probably the best in the world, if not one of the best. Just like ability to craft jokes and talent of performing. But like when he said that stuff, I was just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're so much better than this. And the fact that his last special became all about like trans people and stuff.
Well, I mean, for me, like as an art, come on, man. But also like the effect that has on your fans who are then going to speak to people in that way.
Exactly,
or adopt that attitude.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Like, in any field, like if you've got a big audience, just like, like all this stuff like of Andrew Tate and like also like misogyny of just like preying on younger lads and getting them involved in this attitude.
Yeah. One of my friends, one of my housemates, she asked me like, do I have any friends who genuinely like Andrew Tate? I don't know if I do.
They wouldn't admit it.
Yeah, that is true. Like, do you have anyone who you know like?
There's people I worry, but there's people that don't exhibit anti-Andrew Tate attitudes.
I see.
That made me go,
wow. If you look at it from this perspective,
it's not that I'm not. You got to be anti-racist.
Yes.
So I'd like to be anti-Tate.
Yeah.
Like, so there's. I feel like that absence of evidence.
Yeah.
Like no, the absence of like any anti that.
Yeah.
Kind of can tell you, okay, maybe they're accepted. They do.
They do kind of think about it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. It's crazy how like big he got before.
Yeah, but it's like opportunism and just so cynical.
Yeah.
He's trying to make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's found a fan base that will make money that works.
Yeah.
Just gone at them. Just not worried about the collateral of like kids who enjoy watching that and they go to school.
Yeah.
Stay being fucking horrible to like, have
like female teachers.
Yeah.
That's the nuts thing.
Like,
it is mental.
Yeah.
It is crazy as well. And there was a point where you could not get away from him on TikTok.
Yeah.
He was the whole app.
It's completely what he wanted.
Crazy.
Well, it's younger people on the apps.
Yeah.
And a lot of the younger guys just sharing it, and then maybe outraged younger women.
Yeah.
Younger girls actually.
Yeah.
They're that young.
Yeah.
Just sharing it as well because they're outraged. So.
It's mad.
Good business model.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Horrific.
What a great business model. Yeah, no, that is the thing. Like looking back, and it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
It's probably like a year.
It's kind of still going on, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he's still a household name,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about him.
I'm talking about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I don't know if you see. I've been doing these sketches of like, what are you listening to?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about as well.
I'm gonna do an Andrew Tate one, like, and I'm thinking maybe Andrew Tate reading queer fiction.
Oh.
Then we can have him saying some like really like erotic stuff or something like that.
Is that like an AI voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's so cool.
So funny. It's
such cool tech.
It's such a like where did that idea come from? Like
the what you listening to?
Yeah, what you listening to?
That was me. That was going back to before I started doing street interviews, and I love taking the piss out of street interviewers.
Yeah.
And I think probably since I had that idea and never made it, a lot of people have probably done it, like a similar version of what you listen to, and then they like listen to something random.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really like the idea of people like viewer first. I'm on TikTok, I'm watching, and a street interview comes up, seemingly a street interview, and then suddenly it just changes into something completely different. Yeah, I love that when someone does that to me, and I go, "Oh, that was clever. You made me laugh." You made that trick. You tricked me. So it came from that, just wanting to give people like flout an expectation that people are used to on TikTok. Yeah. Street interviews, asking what they're listening to. Yeah, it's so funny. But then AI just got good. And I was like, oh, I can make so many cool things. Like,
the limits are endless. Like the Rishi Sunak one, that made me laugh so much.
I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble.
Why?
I have no idea on the law.
I don't know what the law is. I don't know what it's fair enough.
But I guess as long as I let people know this is AI, and this is my words that I'm writing. Satire.
To be honest,
be okay, right?
I think
he's a public figure. Like, that's fine.
No, it's definitely fine. No, who cares? Also, I think as well. To be fair, I think there is no law on it right now. Right. I think it's one of those where it's like people are just behind. The law is just behind the technology,
and it's moving way quicker than laws can get passed. Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen.
That is a fucked up thing.
I wonder one loophole if there is a problem would be I met a guy recently who does great impressions. He's actually on TikTok. Very funny guy. Follow him. His Tom Emore. Very funny guy. Does some great impressions. He just started doing. He can do a really good Rishi Sunak. Yeah. And I wonder if I get him to do a great impression of Rishi Sunak. Yeah. Then put that into the AI. Yeah. Legally, I haven't used Rishi's voice. Oh. I wonder if that would then be fine. Yeah, and I think it probably would be. Like I think it's fine anyway. But I think it is fine. I think it is definitely. I think it is. I'm thinking. I'm 2 steps ahead here. Yeah, you're thinking of future crime. You're like protecting yourself from theoretical crimes that might exist. Is that suspicious? Is that really suspicious? That is incredible mind, by the way, of a criminal. You'd be a great like diamond bandit or something. But I think it is crazy like that. Like so many of these pages exist now where people just make AI shit. I think I saw a news headline, which I did not read the article for because of course I didn't. That it literally just said AI voice of Keir Starmer goes viral, and I was like, fuck. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's it. The game is over. We're fucked. I feel like if we're doing politicians, surely there'll be a law soon. Yeah, surely. Come out and be like, stop doing this. Surely. Or are they going to start, if there's no law, are they going to start using it in their smear campaigns? Yeah, that's the thing. But you could really do some damage. That's the craziest thing. I mean, I get the messed up thing is the biggest law that it's really broken is copyright. Right. That's because I think George R. R. Martin, the guy who wrote Game of Thrones, he's suing ChatGPT. Right. Because they used his books as part in ChatGPT. Got you. So if you so the idea is if I type into ChatGPT, what happened to Jon Snow and blah blah blah, it'll tell me, but that's because it's probably read the books. So it's it's using his characters without permission. Well, that's come on, man. Don't be an enemy of progress. Yeah, I know. Everyone can just start coming up and say, "Yeah, don't read my shit." Yeah, it's also it's so jokes. It's so because even how to write a novel or whatever, the software just read loads of books. And then use that to write. If you say to it, "Write me a novel about a fantasy thing," it would have read Game of Thrones, read Lord of the Rings, and then put that into making the code. So because if a person did that and they'd read loads of books,
Yeah.
That's cool. That's called a lecturer.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
What will they do? Will they try and get like human status for ChatGPT? And then it's like, oh, he's just read his books, man.
Oh, mate. Once that happens,
And then what do you do?
Game is over. Game, set, and match. Are you one of those people who's scared of AI? Or you like, fuck?
It's scary. It's a scary concept. Change is always scary.
Yeah.
But for my own selfish reasons, it's a really cool thing to get on the tip of and just get on it. And learn how to use it a little bit.
Yeah.
If I keep going, I'm not going to touch it. I spent a year when I should have gone on TikTok. I should have been. I'd be way bigger. I'd be so much bigger. If I'd gone on it when people were saying, "Oh, you should do this on TikTok," even if they were saying this is shit, get off Instagram. Or they were saying, I should have got on it.
Yeah.
I would have been way bigger but I was like, nah, TikTok. Ew.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't download that.
God.
AI, I'm on that.
You're on it. You're on the tip of the spear. Yeah.
It's gonna do some cool stuff. Like,
what I find the most useful is like stuff like where you can put like a whole podcast into this AI and it'll just make clips for you.
Yeah.
Like just like that, and it's just so useful. And I'm definitely gonna use that. For definitely. No question.
Yeah, that's quality. That's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, fine. But like, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, absolute pleasure,
man.
An absolute pleasure.
Wasn't really gonna go for the handshake. We did. Do you have obviously you have your TikTok, you have Instagram or anything? Do you have anything you want to plug or whatever, like that you want to bring people's attention to before it comes out? Can we get any secrets into your creative diary?
I'm gonna be making more sketches again.
Yes.
Where I actually sit down and write jokes. I haven't written a joke for about 2 years. So real actual jokes are coming.
Yes.
Right from start to scratch.
I love
That'll be cool. So watch those, please.
Yes.
They'll be fun.
And they definitely will. But thanks for having me. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, it's been so good. You've been so fun to talk to.
Thank you.
And I'll let you know when this comes out.
Yes, please.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.